Hello, my people. Good day to you, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whatever time zone you're listening to this, thank you for tuning in every single day to listen to me on Daily Mind Shift. My name is Michael Ujuala from Mindset Transformation Africa. And on today's episode, I want to talk about self-control. I read a quote and I think it's impactful. So let's just go right into it. Let me anchor today's episode on this statement. What is self-control? I believe it is managing life from the inside out. What is self-control? I believe it is managing life from the inside out. That is what I want us to think about. Let's go deeper a little. Let's get clear. And most importantly, let us get free. Self-control, I believe, is an inside job. Most people think self-control is about denying yourself pleasure or punishing yourself for wanting the, in quote, wrong things. But let me tell you something powerful. Self-control is not about suppression. It is about stewardship. Let me repeat that. Self-control is not suppression. It is stewardship. It is not about boxing yourself into a cage. It is about learning how to manage your inner world so that your outer world becomes more fruitful, more purposeful, and more peaceful. You don't gain self-control by slapping your hand every time you want to do something that is in quote bad. You develop it by getting to know yourself deeply, your triggers, your values, your fears, your needs, and then choosing your responses, not reacting out of impulse. That is self-control. To live from inside out means you don't let external pressures, people's opinions, or today's moods set your direction. It means that what flows out of you has been processed, filtered, and chosen, not just emotionally spilled. It means you are deliberate. You are a deliberate actor in your own movie that you are directing. See, self-control, I believe, is the foundation of emotional intelligence too. Have you ever seen someone blow up in traffic? Boom! They snap at a co-worker, or maybe just withdraw when life feels too much. See, all the three that I've mentioned, apart from blowing up in traffic, I've done it. We've all been there. But here's the truth. Without self-control, your emotions will write checks your life cannot cash. Without self-control, your emotions will write checks that your life cannot cash. Emotional intelligence is not just about empathy. It is about regulation. It is not just about empathy, put yourself in other people. No, it's about you regulating yourself. It's about having the ability to feel a thing and not to be mastered by that thing that you just felt. To acknowledge an emotion without obeying every command that it gave you. Think of your emotions like weather, real, inevitable, and powerful. But your self-control, that is your umbrella. That is your raincoat. That is the thermostat inside the house when it is storming outside. All right? If your emotions run wild, your life will feel like a wildfire. Do you understand me? Unpredictable, destructive, and hard to recover from. But when you manage life from the inside out, you stop letting every external event write the script of your day. And guess what? That means you get your power back. See, self-control begins with self-awareness. I want us to take a pause and make this a little bit practical. You cannot control what you don't even notice. That is why the first step of self-control is self-awareness. Are you aware of what triggers your stress? Are you aware of what patterns you tend to repeat? Are you aware of what words push your buttons? Are you aware of what time of the day you are weakest? Are you aware of what type of people you allow to lead you off track? Are you aware? If you don't track yourself, you will trick yourself into thinking your habits are just who you are. But that is not true. Who you are is not your reaction. Who you are is the person choosing your response. So begin by paying attention. Keep a journal. Take a breath before reacting. Reflect at the end of the day. The goal is not perfection, it is progress. Self-awareness opens the door to transformation. All right, self-awareness opens the door to your transformation. Also, self-control is not just about saying no. It is about saying yes to what matters the most. See, we often define self-control by what it stops us from doing, but real self-control is about what it frees us to do. When you say no to distractions, you say yes to purpose. When you say no to drama, you say yes to peace. When you say no to the unnecessary, you say yes to the essential. That is why managing life from the inside out is powerful. It helps you align your energy with what truly matters, not just what screams the loudest. You will never build a meaningful life if you are always reacting to noise. Self-control is choosing the music in your own soul and turning it up. Even if the world is shouting something different, you choose the music in your own soul and you turn it up. See, the difference between willpower and real power is going to be very important, and I want to clarify something here. Willpower can fail you. Wisdom will not fail you. Willpower is like a battery. It runs out in time, but wisdom that comes from managing life inside out, that lasts, all right? Here's what I mean. Willpower says, I'm going to stop eating junk food. Cool. Wisdom says, I'm going to stop keeping junk food even in the house. That is more powerful. Willpower says, I won't text them back this time. Wisdom says, why do I keep reaching out to people who leave me empty? Willpower says, I will just avoid this temptation. Wisdom says, I will build an environment that supports who I want to become. You see the difference? Self-control is about making wise choices that make living easier for you. Self-control is about making wise choices that make right living easier for you. It's not just about flexing discipline like a muscle. No, it is about designing a life that reflects your highest values. It is your internal GPS keeping you on course even when temptation tells you to take the next exit. See, you don't need more control over others. You need more influence over yourself. Let me be honest. Most of us spend more energy trying to control people and outcomes than we do managing ourselves. We want people to behave better, circumstances to shift, situations to bend. But here's the punchline, all right? You cannot control what others do. You can only control what you do. Self-control is the secret weapon of wise people. It is quiet, it is humble, but it is incredibly powerful. You become the kind of person other people respect, not because you back orders or force submission, but because they see how you carry yourself, because they see the evidence of your internal strength. That kind of composure, that kind of poise, it is rare, and rare things are valuable. And that is why I'm recommending that to you. All right, self-control protects even your relationships. Let me just bring this closer to home. Every relationship, whether it is romantic, professional, or family, requires one thing to thrive: respect. And nothing earns or loses respect faster than how we manage ourselves under pressure. Think about this. A parent who yells all the time loses their child's trust. A boss who reacts in anger loses the team's morale. A partner who lashes out causes long-term cracks in intimacy. But the person who can pause, who can breathe, who can respond with care, that is a person who builds bridges, not walls. See, your ability to manage your inner storms protects the people around you from unnecessary damage. It tells them, I care enough about you to be responsible with my words, with my tone, and with my timing. Self-control is not weakness. It is the highest form of strength in a world that is addicted to overreaction. And finally today, you need to practice this inside out every single day. So this is what I want you to do. Wake up with intention. Pause before speaking. Ask, what is the real reason I feel this way? Choose your battles, and above all, establish rhythms. See, your life will always reflect your patterns, and your patterns will always be shaped by your principles. So anchor your habits in who you want to become, not what you feel in the moment, but who you want to become. Until next time, live from the inside out, because that is the only way.